Hey guys, Stopping Cold here to bring you another round of Barian Shark Duels. So first game is the Barian Sharks versus Monarchs. I open up terribly, so I just set the Mirror Force and the Torrential Reborn. He sets a monster and passes. I'm really not fond of drawing two rank ups and then I draw Eggsy Reborn on top. It's like, okay, set that and pass. And he just passes right back. I'm like, salvage? Well, okay, I guess I'll summon the Double Fin. Marshmallow. I despise you, but whatever. His turn. He plays the Monarch Stormforth, and now I know exactly what I'm fighting. He Mobius pops 2. Of course, he hit Eggsy Reborn and the Mirror Force. You couldn't have hit the Torrential Reborn. So I set 1 and pass. He tributes for Caius, banishes the Torrential Reborn, then goes into Strike Bouncer. I'm like, okay, I'm really in trouble at this point. So I draw Piercing Murray, so I salvage back Double Shark and Double Fin. Set 2 rank ups and a monster face down. He sets a monster, swings over. I'm just hoping maybe I can draw enough to... I'm waiting for an Angler so I can hopefully make him negate and then soul exchange. I'm like, great. Well, I'm top decking a rank up now. Set that, set the Goldfish and pass. He draws into a Decree, so he just decides to leave there, fearing I have back row. I draw a Lance, so I go Double Fin. I'm going to force him to burn this Strike Bouncer just so I can do my plays. So I go Bahamut. Make full armored, rank up Bahamut, take his Strike Bouncer since he can't stop me, swing, another Marshmallow, swing over his Ryza, set Lance and pass turn. His turn he just sets a monster and ends. My turn I draw another Lance, so I attack, finally I'll just get pop and now I have to deal with this Marshmallow. He draws another Decree, sets it and passes. I draw Eggsy Reborn, so I'm like, okay, set that. He flips a Decree at the end phase, and it's just passing. I'm hoping maybe I'll draw Piercing Moray. I draw MST, I just said, because I'm not overly worried about Decree, because the only thing it's stopping is Eggsy Reborn. So here goes Caius, banishes C101, attacks, I lance him, so now I get pop the Decree anyway. End phase, I'm going to Eggsy Reborn back. Barian Shark, I draw Double Fin, go for Double Fin. I go for the attack on Battle Fader, so it's okay, whatever. Make 101. I decide to rank up just because if he draws any of his tributing cards, now he'll go for the C101 instead of, and he'll leave my Bahamut alone. Plus, it gave me another monster that's over the 24. Of course, he top decks into the Stormforth. Luckily, I have another Lance for his Majesty's Fiend. Even if I didn't, I have a Bahamut sitting there. I draw Goldfish, so I'm like, attack. 23, 23, game? Damn you, Jack Frost. But, oh well, it's Jack Frost. You almost have to kind of expect him at times with Monarchs. He sets a monster and passes. I draw another Angler. So I'm like, okay, Bahamut, you get a kill of Jack Frost. Attack. Game again? Another Jack Frost? Darn it. Okay, so I just have to end there and pass. He draws Ryza. And of course he has a soul exchange. So he's going to put my full armored back. Level 8's out, so he has 2 monsters and a whole wall of monsters just so I can't run over everything. So I flip my full armor and make a Bahamut, run over Ryza so he's out of the way. Now he's stuck with just 2 Leveliers. I'm hoping he doesn't top deck into a Monarch. Luckily he didn't, so he decided to scoop there. Alright, next game is a Vampire Skull Flame deck. So he summons Zombie Master and ends his turn. I am also now trying out Instant Fusion with, once I get to him, Rare Fish. I'm kind of sad that he's also an OCG exclusive, which I'll be talking about another, or well, it's a Korean exclusive. I'll talk about him towards the end of the video. So I go Goldfish into Goldfish, make Bahamut, just swing over the Zombie Master. Main phase 2, I'm going to use his effect, make a full armored, set the Fusion and the Fiendish Chain. His turn, he draws Foolish Burial, so he sends that, sends a Plague Spreader, summons it, goes for Shadow Vampire. I'm Fiendish Chaining that because I just don't want him to do any of his plays. So he just ends there. I draw Blackhorn, which I put back in the main board. I think it's a little more useful main boarded right now. Go Barian Shark into full armor, salvage back. Goldfishes, I go for Goldfish into Abyss Dweller, so I now have all monsters over 22. He does Dark Old Dings. Darn, I'm going to lose my Double Fin. Luckily, I drew another Double Fin, though, so that helped. Not that it mattered with what I had on board. I attack, he flips Light Mirror. Why he is mainboarding a Light Mirror of all things is beyond me. But whatever your choice for your deck, I think it was a really dumb one. Just my opinion. Alright, next up is a match against Morphtronics. So I go first. I set 2, use Goldfish to get a double fin, go for Bahamut, make a full armored with a Compulse and Mirror Force set. His turn, he plays the field spell, and then he summons Boomboxin. I draw a Fish Step, so I'm like, attack. He uses, what's this one, Driver to switch him, not that it mattered. So he scooped really fast game 1. I guess he really needed that field card to do anything, but okay. Alright, in game 2, he gets to go first. I was trying a smokescreen type Shark deck where you play all the rank 4s really much, or a lot of the rank 4s game 1, and then you side into the rank 5s. I'm going to stop with that. It just doesn't work as well as I kind of hoped it did. But he summons Self On, plays the map, summons Clocking off of it, and then plays Stumbling. I'm like, oh boy, now Stumbling. Here I draw MST, so I didn't have any play, so I just want the field card gone just because it was more of a problem. He plays Reasoning. I guessed 1, hoping I'd hit a Self On, and I did. Not that matters, he still has a Self On, so he summons out Stapling, Stumbling switches it, Stumbling switches his Lantern. He goes for Synchron. I don't want him drawing, so I just negate that right there. I draw a double fin, so I'm like, okay. Stumbling will switch, Bahamut, Stumbling still going to attempt to switch even though he's in defense mode. Make a full armor, it's going to switch him. I have a Fiendish Chain, so I'm like, my full armor is going to stay there. I'm pretty safe. Goes for Boomboxing, it gets switched. He hits me for 3 grand, then goes for Diamond Crab King. I'm like, yay, now I have to deal with this fun guy. Plus, it didn't help, I sided out Abyss Dweller, so I can't quite make my Bahamut Shark tougher than this guy. So he draws into Cameron, then Swords, and is like, okay, you can attack me for 700, that's not a big deal right now. Because I figure if I can just get that guy to get in attack mode, I'll just swing over it with, or I'll just take it with 101. So he goes enemy control. Here he attacks my full armored into my Bahamut, and then just decides to detach. So I was like, you didn't want to just like get rid of my monster instead of just giving it back to me? So my turn, I'm just waiting for this Swords to die, especially now that this Crab King has no overlays. It's not big of a problem. I could have just attacked it, but without a way to just run him over easily, it was just easier to let sit there until I actually had plays. So I go for Goldfish into Angler, and here's where I find out I don't have the Abyss Dweller. I forgot I sided it, so I just went into another Bahamut. I was like, and I have no more full armors because I sided one of them out as well. So I was like, okay, this sucks. So I go for Panther Shark, Instant Fusion out, Deep Sea, make full number 94, go into full armor Crystal Zero. And now that turn has passed, I can finally switch her. Of course, I draw a rank up. I thought I had a target for double fin. Of course, I don't. I was misplaying so bad. It was ridiculous. So I just get a him for a bunch of damage. His turn, he draws, and that was the end of that. And probably second to last one for this video. This was the Barian Sharks with supply unit. So I go into Bahamut, into full armor. This is also a tag duel with Boojins, as my usual tag duels are. So I set Torrential into MST, he plays Pod Duality. He plays the Misty, he doesn't go after the supply unit. Why you wouldn't MST this off? Because this is more the problem card, because it kind of prevents you from destroying any of our monsters, unless you want to let us draw a ton. So he plays Tuning, he gets an Unknown Synchron, ones for an effect failure. I was confused, but I forgot about Zephyros. So he goes for Junk Synchron, Black Rose, and we're like, I draw Piercing Moray, so I attack for 23 and 26. Here he didn't drop Gores. Why he didn't do that, I don't know. I figured he wouldn't let me get the Effect Veiler off, but I figured better if I can force him to use that Effect Veiler now instead of against my partner. So he goes for Exciton. Yeah, we get nuked. My partner draws. We have to get rid of this Exciton eventually, so we just attack because he'll nuke us. Here he compulses the Exciton. Okay. It's out of the way. My partner goes for Peacock, gets Yamato. Banishes for Harumi, makes a Saswano, puts the Hare in the grave just in case they make another Exciton. Summons Card Trooper, mills 3, didn't mill anything of really importance. My turn, I have now an Angler, but I'm like, no, let's just run over. Saswano's fine where he's at by himself. Especially with this Boojin Visibility. we're using that just in case they ever got close to the Quasar play. We could just put it all back. So Swano attacks, then we get Yamato. End phase, they Misty the Buddha Ascendant, which sucked, but oh well. We put Quillen in the grave. Goes for Junk Synchron, grabs Unknown Synchron, Special Doppel, Sync Hyper Librarian, get Doppel tokens, Sync for Formula, draw 2. Special Quick Draw, go for Drill Warrior, Hyper Librarian, draw another one. He discards so he can attack it, or he halves so he can attack, then he discards. I draw Fish Depth, and I was like, okay, Quillen Pop Librarian, so you can't sync on our turn. Hit ya, here the Gores finally comes, and we're like, okay, I'll set Piercing Moray and Fish Depth just because it's a better combo at this point. Drill Warrior comes back, he plays Recycling Batteries, grabs 2. Drill Warrior makes Bahander, then Mahander goes for Paladino. Turtle protects Swano. He attacks Yamato, we Hair Protect, he goes for the attack. I'm going to Fish Step charge it. First turn he draws Honest, which is nice, so we attack over Paladynamo, go to attack, he Phoenix Wind Blasts the Yamato, so we are going to Crane Drop the token just so it was out of the way, because we have still the Honest, so we weren't too worried. Chunk Synchron, grab Unknown, go for Catastor, of course we're out of hairs. So we took 24, but we aren't that worried yet. My turn, I draw Lance, I was like, okay, set Lance and Mirror Force, because I'm not wasting the Angler. He draws a Thrasher, gets Gores back, so we know the Gores is there now. I didn't even bother Mirror Forcing. I was like 22. We're still way in the lead, especially because we have the Booge Incarnation, gets a Swano, detach, put the hair, get Yamato, Quillen pop, attack. We were hoping he'd summon the Gores in attack mode. Luckily, he was smart for them, so we couldn't just Honest drop for game. So he added the Peacocking Dish just because he was out of really anything to grab, and we weren't giving up the Honest. Goes for Unknown Synchron, goes for Junk Berserker. Here he starts lowering the monster's attacks. Not that it matters, because Honest, we're still going to win. Didn't matter what he did, because Lance was also there. Alright, and last one for this video is also a tag duel. We're going up against Heretic Dragoonides. So my turn, I just set Double Shark, Compulse, Lance, and Fish Depth. He summons Hanzo, sets 4 more, I Fish Depth charge, Bottomless, a good one to hit. Hoping to hit that Super Transformation just because then it would have been out of the way. Peacock, go for Yamato, Super Transformation, and do White Dragon Ninja, Special Harumi, get Arasuda. He compulses Arasuda. Okay, that doesn't really bother us, we got a bunch of monsters. He tributes Phalanx for Sue, we go to Compulse Sue, or we Compulse the White Knight, Lance the Sue, that way all the other backfill that we had was safe. Why he didn't attack because his monster was Lance, I don't know, but Goldfish, get Piercing Moray, go for Bahamut, make full armored, attack Sue, pop the Mystery, which turned out to be a Call of a Haunted, set Torrential Reborn and pass. His turn, he plays the ninjutsu one that lets him draw. Dark Holes us, I play Torrential Reborn. Now we find out it's Stella Knights. Luckily, we had that Black Horn for the Exciton. Now we draw another Black Horn, which is really nice. So we attack and attack. Main phase 2, go for Harumi, then Arasuda, then Mikazuchi for Amaterasu. Amaterasu bring Yamato back. End phase, put the hair in the grave so we're somewhat protected. Goes for Convocation, he adds the Peacock back to hand just because then he can search again. Goes for Sue, we can be a Giant Dragon, so Blackhorn became worthless, but whatever. Go for Dragoonid Nagi Dirge. Go for Gauntlet Launcher, targets Amaterasu, hair protects that. Goes for Bahamut Shark, okay, you killed him. Not that big of a deal. My turn, I draw Mirror Force, I was like, okay, summon Piercing Moray, Amaterasu, grab hair. Attack over Gauntlet Launcher, attack for 15, attack for 21, attack for 17. Main phase 2, go for 101, set the Mirror Force and pass. He draws an Alexandrite Dragon, but doesn't even bother setting it. Our turn, we draw a Crane, so we're like, attack. Nope, this is game then. Okay, this is... Oop, wrong deck. That one. So this is what I've changed the deck up into. So Monster Lineup's pretty much the same, other than 1 less remore, I've dropped him to 1. 2 instant fusions, you'll see, I'll talk about that in a second. 1 rank up now. I don't know if I'll need to ever, really. 1 lance. 2 lances instead of 3. 1 torrential reborn instead of 2. Other than that, I put the 3rd fish step charge back in, and the black horns back in. So the instant fusion is now because mostly of this Elder God Nodin. I came across him while I was looking at level 4 water fusion monsters. So he is basically a Wolfbark, a double fin for a fusion monster, and he works off instant fusion. So this is why I've started playing instead of rare fish, just because instant fusion now can be a top deck into a Bahamut or a 101 or whatever I really need it to be. So I dropped 1 C101 and the 103 to put him in. I think he'll probably work better. Tell me if you think I should maybe play the rare fish over him. I really don't think so. The only benefit to rare fish is that he's also a fish step charge target over this guy, being he's a fairy water instead. But I think he'll probably be more useful in long term. The sideboard, the 1 Abyss Dweller, I don't think the C101 will stay just because I'm not playing. I don't have a rank up in the sideboard. Acid Golem's still in here, the creature swap. Dimensional Fissure, mostly because it doesn't really hurt anything. Light Mirror, and then Mine and Soul Drain. I haven't really decided what I want for the other 5 cards because the C101 won't be in there. So tell me what you guys think. Should I play the Elder God? Elder God Nodin, or should I play the rare fish? So this is Stop 'em Cold signing out. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.